Dad was living at home on his own. He was managing quite well with some assistance in the home, but it was clear that his health was deteriorating. Mentally he was still very alert, but physically he was finding it very hard, managing around the home by himself. So it became apparent that we need to look for him for some placement in some sort of residential care. And what we did was we went through the financial advisor just to establish where Dad stood in regard to what he could afford and the sort of facility he could move into. The financial advisor was able to give us some assistance with a placement service as well, and they were excellent. They were actually able to come into the home, talk to Dad and give him lots of information about the sorts of facilities that were available to him. So having established that Dad needed to go into care, the financial advisor worked with both Dad and the placement company to establish just what was going to be required for him to be able to afford to move. The placement company negotiate with the facility owners as to what sort of options might be available, and together with the financial advisor they were able to present Dad a package of options for him to choose from. Now for Dad, he elected to sell his house straight away and to pay the accommodation bond up front, but there were certainly other options available to him as well. Once Dad had decided which option he was going to take in terms of paying for the facility, having sold his house, there was still a lump sum amount that was left over. So the financial advisor worked with Dad to establish the best way to invest that money so that he still maximised his income. The process of moving into aged care is quite a stressful process for Dad. It was very difficult, and for us as a family, it's a really hard decision to make, but starting with getting the financial advice and understanding exactly what you have available to you, and that support all the way through that process until he moved in and everything was resolved, was fantastic for us. There were 3 distinct times in Mum and Dad's life when they needed financial advice. The first was when they retired. The second was when Mum passed away, and obviously Dad's circumstances changed at that point in time. And the third time was when Dad moved into aged care. It was really great because the financial advisor kept in touch over the years, so Mum and Dad knew he was available whenever they needed him. Life, it happens.